My name is Emma, and I'm about to tell you the most emotional and transformative story of my life. This is a story about my dad, who never once remembered my birthday in my entire 23 years of existence. Yes, you heard that right, not even once. I can vividly remember my 7th birthday. I woke up at 5 a.m., so excited I couldn't sleep. I thought today Dad would definitely do something special. I wore my best dress, styled my hair, and sat in the living room waiting. Dad got ready for work, drank his coffee, read the newspaper, and left without saying a word. I sat there, hoping maybe he was planning a surprise. When he came home that night, he looked at me and said, "Emma, why are you still up? You have school tomorrow." That was it. No cake, no gift, no happy birthday. That night I cried in my room quietly so Mom wouldn't hear. She had already made a small cake and given me a gift. But all my heart wanted was for Dad to remember. Then came my 13th birthday. I was a teenager now, more mature. I told myself maybe Dad is busy, his work is important. I understand. But deep inside, there was still hope. That day, I came home from school and saw Dad was home, which was very rare. I got excited. I thought, this is it. He took the day off for me. I walked inside and Dad was cutting cake with our neighbor, Mr. Johnson. "Happy birthday, John." He was saying, 62 years old. I never forget a friend's birthday. The ground shifted beneath my feet. My dad remembered his neighbor's birthday, someone he'd met just 2 years ago, but not his own daughter's. I went straight to my room. That day, I decided I wouldn't expect any more. Expectations only bring pain. Sweet 16 came. Every teenager makes this special. My friends had huge celebrations, parties, surprises, emotional moments with their parents. I decided to give Dad a hint. A week before my birthday, I casually said in conversation, "Dad, next week is pretty important for me." He barely looked at me and said, "That's good, sweetheart." Work hard. I tried again. "Dad, something special is coming up." He said distractedly, "Great, let me know if you need help with your homework." On my birthday, nothing happened. I went to school, came back, and went to sleep. But I locked my disappointment inside a shell. I had learned that controlling emotions was necessary. College graduation came. I was 22. This was a huge milestone in my life. The whole family came to the ceremony. Dad was there too. He took photos, gave proud smiles, talked to everyone. But 2 days later was my birthday. Stupidly, I hoped again. Maybe now, when I'm an adult, he'll remember. I thought. Those 2 days passed. On my birthday, I was home. Dad went to work in the morning. Came back in the evening, had dinner, watched TV, and went to bed. I told myself, "Emma, you're such a fool. After 22 years, you're still expecting?" But the thing that hurt most wasn't that Dad forgot. It was that he remembered everything else. His office colleagues' birthdays, golf partners' anniversaries, even our neighborhood dog's birthday. "Oh, it's Bruno's birthday today. I should get him treats." But his own daughters? Nothing got fast forward till last year. I had turned 23 and was settled in my life. Good job, nice apartment, and emotionally, I had trained myself not to expect any emotional connection from Dad. There was love, there was respect, but that emotional bond, it never existed. A week before my birthday, I went home to visit Mom. Dad was there too. I went to the kitchen to get water and overheard Dad on the phone. "Mark, buddy, I can't believe you're turning 58 next week. I've already got your gift ready. You know me, I never miss a friend's birthday. It's sacred, man." Something broke inside me. 23 years. 23 forgotten birthdays. And this man calls his colleague's birthday sacred? That's when I made my decision. Enough. If Dad needed to learn what it means to remember a birthday, what it means to make someone feel valued, I had to do something extraordinary. My first task was to discover when Dad's birthday was. And here's the irony I didn't know exactly. I knew the month and approximate date, but the exact date, I asked Mom and found out Dad's birthday was 6 weeks away, November 15th. I started making a plan. Initially, I'll admit my intention was somewhat like revenge. I wanted to show Dad how it feels. But as I started researching, something began to change. I asked Mom about Dad's past. She hesitantly started telling me, "Emma, your dad's childhood was very different. Your grandfather, your dad's father, was very strict and emotionally distant. He considered birthdays a waste of time, never celebrated them. Your dad never had a proper birthday party in his entire childhood." Hearing this shook something inside me. But I continued my research. I called Dad's brother, my Uncle Robert. I asked Uncle Robert about Dad. He told me a story I had never heard. "Emma, your dad was 16 when he got a scholarship to music school. He played guitar really well. He wanted to be a rock star. But your grandfather strictly refused. Music is for failures," he said. "Your dad broke that guitar and never picked it up again. Music? My dad? I had never even imagined. We barely had a music system at home. I dug deeper. I found Dad's old college friend Jake with the help of social media. I talked to Jake. "Emma, your dad was the most fun guy in college. We had a band, the Midnight Rebels. Your dad was our lead guitarist. We even had some gigs. But then after graduation, somehow we lost touch. I tried to contact him many times, but your dad never responded." Now I was shocked. My serious, emotionally distant, workaholic dad had this side. This man who barely smiles was the most fun guy in college. I visited grandmother, Dad's mom. She showed me old photo albums. And there I saw a 19-year-old boy, long hair, holding a guitar, performing on stage, the biggest smile on his face. That was my dad, but I couldn't even recognize him. "What day is this photo from, Grandma?" I asked. "This is from your dad's 19th birthday, sweetheart. This was the only birthday when he was truly happy. He performed with his friends. But it was the last performance. Your grandfather found out and created a terrible scene. After that, your dad gave up music." I held that photo in my hands. I could clearly see in that young man's eyes pure joy, freedom, life. And I thought about my dad today. Tired eyes, mechanical smile, emotionally shut down. Suddenly my perspective changed. My dad who forgot my birthday. Maybe he had forgotten his own existence. A man who sacrificed his dreams, his happiness, his identity. How could he celebrate anyone else? Now my plan changed from revenge to transformation. I wanted to show Dad the person he once was. I wanted to remind him that life isn't just responsibilities. The next 2 weeks, I did intense planning. First, I convinced Jake and the other band members to reunite one last time. Jake was excited. "Emma, I've been waiting for this for 25 years. They all agreed. Then I secretly found Dad's old guitar. It was kept at Grandma's house, broken and worn. I secretly had it repaired by a professional luthier. The guitar became like new. I created a photo album, Dad's complete life story and pictures. From childhood to today. With each photo, I wrote captions, his journey, his sacrifices, his unseen achievements. I also found a venue, that old college auditorium where Dad's band used to perform. Miraculously, it was still open for community events. I booked it. Most importantly, I hired a professional videographer. I interviewed important people in Dad's life, Mom, Uncle Robert, Jake, old colleagues, neighbors, even Mr. Johnson. One simple question: what does Dad mean to you? Every answer brought tears to my eyes. People said such beautiful things. Dad had helped so many people, made such a positive impact on so many lives. But he never realized it himself. November 15th arrived. Dad's birthday. Dad was normal from the morning. Routine. He didn't even remember his own birthday. I had discussed the plan with Mom. She told Dad, "Honey, Emma's car broke down. Can you pick her up near that old college auditorium?" She was meeting a friend there. Dad agreed, obviously. At 6 p.m. in the evening, I was standing outside the auditorium when Dad's car arrived. "Emma, what happened to your car?" He asked. "Dad, the car is fine." please come inside. I need to show you something." He was confused, a bit irritated too. I'm tired. "If this is some prank, please, Dad, just 5 minutes." He reluctantly came inside with me. The auditorium was completely dark inside. Dad got more confused. "Emma, what is..." Then the lights came on, and standing on stage were Jake and the other band members with their instruments. The auditorium had decorations. "Happy 54th birthday, David," was written. Dad stopped. His breath caught. Jake took the microphone. "David, my friend, it's been 25 years, but we never forgot you. And today your daughter gave us the greatest gift, a chance to play with you one more time." Dad's eyes moistened. He looked at me, then at the stage. I don't understand." I took his hand and led him to the stage. There on a stand was his restored guitar. A spotlight was on it. "Dad," I said, my voice heavy with emotion, "you thought I didn't know about you. But in the last 2 months, I discovered the life you shut down. I found the man you could have been." Dad looked at the guitar. His hands trembled. He picked it up, fingers went to the strings, and played a single chord. The sound was perfect. He broke down. My strong, emotionally close dad sat right there on stage and cried. I gave this up. I thought dreams are for children. Responsibilities matter more. "Dad," I said, sitting next to him, "you sacrificed so much for us. But one thing you shouldn't have sacrificed yourself. And today is your birthday. And today I want you to become who you were." Jake came on stage. "David, let's play. One last time. For old time's sake." Slowly, Dad stood up. He put on the guitar. The other band members went to their places. And they started. At first, Dad's fingers were rusty. But as they played, muscle memory returned. And then he played like he hadn't played in 25 years. I wasn't the only one in the auditorium. I had secretly invited everyone. Mom, Uncle Robert, Grandma, Dad's colleagues, neighbors, everyone. Everyone was clapping, cheering. When the set ended, Dad put down the guitar and came straight to me. He hugged me, tight, real emotional hug. Not the mechanical side hug he usually gave. "Emma," he said, crying, "I'm so sorry. I forgot every birthday of yours. I was such a bad father." "Dad," I said, crying myself, "today is your birthday. And from today, we'll both remember everything." Then I played the video. On screen came all the people whose interviews I recorded. One by one, everyone spoke about Dad. Uncle Robert. My brother gave up his dreams so his family would never struggle. "That's a hero." Jake. David was the most talented musician I knew. And more than that, the best friend. "Mr. Johnson, your dad helped me when my wife was sick. He never asked for anything in return. Just helped. Mom, he forgot birthdays, yes. But he never forgot to provide, to protect, to be there when it really mattered." And finally, I came on screen. I looked directly at Dad through the camera and said, "Dad, you forgot my birthdays. But you never forgot to work hard so I could have a good life. You never forgot to pay my school fees, college fees. You never forgot to come to my graduation. You forgot celebrations, but you never forgot responsibilities. And today, I want you to learn celebrations matter too. Happiness matters too. And you deserve to be celebrated." The video ended. The entire auditorium was silent. Then, suddenly, everyone stood up and started clapping. Dad came to me. He put his hands on my shoulders. For the first time in my life, he looked into my eyes, really looked, and said, "I see you now, Emma. I really see you. And I promise I'll never forget again." That night, we stayed there late. The band played more songs. People danced. Dad talked to everyone, laughed, and most importantly, he looked alive again. Like that 19-year-old boy in that photo. When we were driving home, Dad suddenly stopped the car on the side. He took out a small diary from the dashboard. "Emma, look at this." He opened the diary. Dates were written in it, and I was shocked. All my birthdays were listed. June 28th every year. Dad, you remembered? There was guilt in his eyes. I always remembered, sweetheart. I didn't know how to celebrate. My dad never taught me. So I ignored it. I thought if I didn't acknowledge it, I could hide my failure. But I failed you anyway. In that moment, I understood. My dad didn't forget my birthday. He just didn't know what to do. He wasn't emotionally equipped. Dad, I said, from today we'll learn. Together. He smiled, genuine, warm smile. 2 weeks later, June 28th came. My birthday. Honestly, I wasn't expecting anything. I woke up in the morning and came to the hall. And there Dad was standing, with a guitar in his hand and a cake. Happy birthday, Emma, he said. I wrote a song for you. And he played. The tune wasn't perfectly polished, the lyrics were a bit simple, but it was the most beautiful song I'd ever heard. Because it was for me, my dad, who didn't celebrate my birthday for 23 years, picked up a guitar and sang for me. I cried. Tears of joy. Dad, this is perfect. Emma, thank you. That birthday surprise, you brought me back to life. You reminded me that I'm not just a provider. I'm a human being too. And human beings should celebrate. Today, 1 year later, our lives have completely changed. Dad plays guitar regularly now. He has monthly jamming sessions with Jake and the band. He smiles more, talks more Dot and birthdays. Now he marks them on the calendar with a red marker. Not just mine, everyone's. But my birthday, he makes it special. Last month, he drove his old car and took me to the mountains where we went camping. Just Dad and me. We talked, played guitar, watched the stars. Emma, he said, you taught me that birthdays are important. But you also taught me that it's never too late to change. Never too late to find yourself again. That night, I realized I had given Dad the ultimate birthday surprise. But the real surprise was that in the process, I got him back. And he got me Dot, so that was my story. A story of a daughter who was hurt by forgotten birthdays, but who learned that behind every person's pain, there's a story. And sometimes the biggest gift we can give is reminding someone of their own value. My dad didn't celebrate my birthday for 23 years, but now every day feels like a celebration because now our connection is real. Now we're not just father-daughter, we're friends, we're co-musicians. We're in a real relationship, and if you have someone in your life who's emotionally distant, who doesn't remember, who doesn't celebrate, remember, maybe they don't know how. Maybe they never received that love themselves. So teach them. Show them by example. And watch the magic happen, because at the end, we all want the same thing. To be seen, to be valued, to be celebrated. And sometimes we have to show others first. Thank you for listening to my story. And remember, it's never too late for second chances.